Hey, welcome back to Mountain Man's Garage. It's that time of the year again. Let's go cut some firewood. So, what are we cutting with? Well, same saws we had last year. The Salem Master 6220F and the 6220G. They cut almost 15 cord last year. We're going to fire them up and see how they're going to do this year. Now, let's flip you. There you are. Okay. So, you can see, it is, as I fall over, the same saw I had last year. Both of them. So, what have I done since last year? Okay, I put brand new chains on them. You can see that is, there we go, we got focus. Brand new chain. My local saw shop was able to get some chain in stock and made me 4 brand new chains for them this year. Last year I changed spark plug in them, so still running the same spark plug as last year. You can see I made a mess when I filled up my oil container because, well, I tipped the saw up without putting the cap on. Congratulations to me, I'm a dork. So, let's see. So, I did fire them up this year. I fired them up, checked the carburetors, tuned them in. They were a little bit out. I got the yellow one running a little bit higher RPM this year. The silver one, okay, the 6220F. Boy, that's a mouthful. Okay, I did run into a little bit of an issue with this starting last fall. And in case you run into this, I want you to know what I did. So, it would run wide open, great. But as soon as you let it idle for a second, then bog out and die. And then I'd have to set the choke to get it to fire back up. And then if you didn't have a wide open throttle, it wouldn't run no more. Carburetor adjustment. So what I ended up doing was playing with the low idle jet, or low fuel jet, I guess you call it. Fuel screw, whatever you want to call it. And was able to get it running okay, but it still wasn't right. So what I ended up doing, I discovered that my idle screw, the idle RPM screw, actually had either gotten in too far or the carburetor wasn't happy with where it was. So I had to back it way off. And I mean like 3-4 turns back it out. And now it's running just like a champ. I love it. So we're out here. Again, these are the 20-inch saws. You can see I did flip the bar over. I put a new chain on there. So every time I sharpen the chain, well, every time I take it apart to blow it out, which I like to do at least every other trip, I like to flip the bar over. That way I get even wear on top and bottom of the bar and not just on one side. So they're 20-inch bar. If you measure them out, they're somewhere between 18 and 3/4 and 19 and a half. So close enough to call 20, especially with the chain on there. We have a beautiful, beautiful log sitting here that was nice enough to fall down this winter with the windstorm. And I do believe it's a fir, judging by the bark. I will tell you in a minute when I get cutting into it. It's either fir or hemlock. Judging by all the branches on it, I'd probably say hemlock first. Oh, no, wait, it's chipping. That's a fir. So it is 24 inches through. So I'm going to try to get this phone set up somewhere. I haven't gotten a GoPro yet. Money's been a little tight this year. But I do have a tripod coming. That should be here hopefully Tuesday. So I can be a little less shaky when I don't have my camera lady, or also known as my beautiful blushing bride. She's been down on the migraine for going on 12 days now, so she doesn't want to be out here listening to my saws screaming. So let me try to get you set up somewhere you can see, and we'll do the first cut with the silver saw, the 6220F, and then we'll switch over to the 6220G. So let me see where I can put you. Hold on one second. Okay, we're going to try that. I'm going to try not to bump it too much. You are now on the tripod of natural bark. So, alright, let me grab my saw here. And you will notice, if I have my back to you, I do have my sidearm on me. I'm out in the woods. It's what you do. So, let's get this thing fired up. Full choke, throttle hold. There we go, it kicked. Now, before I make this cut, don't judge too harsh if it takes a minute to bite through. I do have a 2.5 to 3 inch knot right here, right where I want to make my first cut. So, if it goes a little bit slow at the start, that's why. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, that cut beautifully. So now let's bring you over here. And you can see, because I've had other people comment before, look at that log. That is beautiful. Get over here so it's nice and sunny. Oh yeah, see? That is not a punky log. If anything, it's a little bit wet. So, you can see that big old knot that I cut through right there on top. Brand new chain. And there's a knot on the bottom. Beautiful. Beautifully done. Okay, let's do the 6220G. Okay, I got you back up on your natural perch. And remember, it didn't cut all the way through because it's a 19.5 inch bar, 24 inch log. Okay, 6220G. Turn it on. And remember, this model has the automatic throttle hold with choke. So all you gotta do is pull the choke out. Okay, and we're popped. How about that? a branch at the bottom. There we go. There we go. Definitely wet. So it's cutting wet wood. But anyone that says the saw isn't cutting right, you need a new chain. Plenty of power. Fully had the bar buried. You can see that. I don't know what else you can want other than not get pelted by flying ants. So there you have it. You got the G, you got the F. I love them. Salem Master, you knocked it out of the park. You have a great item, and I never have to worry about it. They always fire right up. I'll do a little blip on my 14-inch limbing saw another day. I didn't bring it with me today. So, there you go. I don't know what else you want for between $140 to $175. You got a saw that'll keep up with just about anything. Now, I know you're going to say your Stihl, your Husky can outrun them. Hey, cool, great. I hope you have lots of luck with your brand. I will not say anything bad about them. Pardon me. No, I will not say anything bad about any other brand. You know, if they cut, they cut. If you're happy with them, great, cool, awesome. These saws are what I'm using. They work great. They work great for me. Like I said, I did 15 cord last year. This year, I'm only doing 6 cord. That's what my permits allow. That's what I'm doing. But you just watch me cut through a 24-inch wet fir log with no issue. Brand new chain. So, I'll put it in the details again in case you miss it. The chain is a 325 by 058 by 76 drivers. Okay? That is a little bit of an oddball, but not impossible to find. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them from some local saw shops if you're lucky enough to have that access. I've heard a lot of complaints or questions about part availability. Yes, part availability is an issue, but I do believe the company is working on that aspect of it. But for cutting 15 cord, and all I've done is put chains on it, which the only reason I have to replace chains so often is because you can see when I'm cutting it. It's brush, it's underbrush, it's dirt, it's rocks. You never know when you're going to find an extra nail or bullet. You destroy chains. So, I put a lot of chains on my saw. My buddy's a little more careful. His chains last a lot longer. But yeah, there you go. Salem Master saws from Amazon. You can't go wrong for the price. You really can't. And if you're professional wood cutting or just a hobby cutter like I am, or if you're doing it at home and you need to clear some property, they're not real heavy. They're cheap. You know, being less than half or a third the cost of a Husky or a Stihl. And, you know, I understand you loggers are making a living on your Huskies and your Stihls. I understand that. You're going to burn them up. You're going to need parts. Homeowners, hobby cutters, if you don't have the finances to go out and buy a Husky or a Stihl, these are a great option. I love mine. I will stand by them. And if a new model comes out, I will try out the new model. I have to get in contact with my corporate guy and find out what he's got coming down the pike. With the COVID last year, everything really got shut down, as we all know. So I'm doing the best I can, and we will catch you later because I got work to do. So have a nice day.